Hey everybody, you know, different people hunt different ways. It depends on where you live. Some people will stalk and hunt. Some people will go out and look at and scout the area and hunt over scrapes and rubs. And some people use tree stands. Some people will use box stands. Some people just sit on the ground. Some people up in northern states will do drives where lots of people will go out in the woods while a couple guys set up and wait for the deer to come to them. In other states, they use dogs. And it doesn't matter how you hunt. What matters is that you hunt. You just follow the rules for your state. And no type of hunting is better than any other. You follow the rules that are laid out for your state, and that's all that matters. Some places you can use feeders and put out corn and so forth for deer and hunt over that, and some you can't. And one isn't superior to the other. And you know, I see online, I see comments from guys who talk a lot of crap about guys who use feed or whatever. You know what? If your state allows that, if that's what they have in the rule book, well, so be it. That's your prerogative. If you don't want to hunt like that, don't hunt like that. If you want to, then do it. You see, I believe in putting meat in the freezer. That's the most important thing to me. I'm not out here trying to kill the biggest buck, trying to get the biggest antlers and get a trophy. Sure, it's nice when you do. And it's, you know, it's really cool to have a big set of antlers to hang on the wall. But the truth is, you can't eat them. And the main, most important thing is that you got meat to put in the freezer, feed yourself, feed your family. Now, as my description says, I follow a carnivore way of eating. And so having meat, for me, is extremely important because that's my diet. And a lot of people may not do that, but you know, it's been a good thing for me. I was able to go from being a very, very fat man to being relatively decent weight and working on getting back in shape. And so it works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me. So remember, be kind to your fellow hunters. Don't talk all that crap online about one another. Look, we're all out here doing the same thing. We should be united. Don't let petty differences or high opinions or whatever it may be separate us. The most important thing is that we're out in the woods, that we're enjoying being in nature, getting that peace of mind that we deserve, relaxing, spending time, and also getting the opportunity to put meat in the freezer. And while we're at it, teach someone else to hunt, whether it's your neighbor kid, your son or daughter's friends, family member, anyone who wants to. Always mentor them and take them along. Teach them the right things to do. And remember, there's people that believe if it's brown, it's down. Well, let's all be ethical, okay? There are some things that we shouldn't do, okay? Dropping that yearling that's barely out of spots, that's not a great idea. You should probably let that walk. You know, give it a chance to grow. But if you need to put meat in the freezer, by God, go for it. Because that's the most important thing. And if that's how you live, is by putting meat in the freezer, nothing should stop you. We live in the greatest country on earth. We're privileged to be allowed to hunt. And some places have a lot of rules, some places don't. But the fact is, just follow the rules. And remember, be nice to your game wardens. They can be your best friend or your worst enemy. I always make sure that I know the game wardens in my area and stay in touch with them, because they'll do you favors. They'll help you out. You know, I'm pretty decent at tracking wounded animals, but if you can't find one, a lot of times they'll come help. And listen, those guys got the toughest job on the planet, or one of the toughest ones. Every time they come into a deer camp or come upon a hunter, they're going into a situation where there's a person who is armed, or most likely armed. Unlike normal law enforcement, these guys know every time almost that they're going to be encountering somebody who could keep them from going home at night. So be nice to them, be respectful, follow the rules that are in your state, and hey, happy hunting.